Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy, the Muffin Man, and welcome back to another episode of StoryTime! Yeah, baby! So, today on StoryTime, I wanted to take some time to talk to you guys about this lovely thing right here, my car. So, if you notice something about the whole year 3, year 2 setting of the Muffin Man, then you'll notice that I'm filming in my car most of my videos, and probably pretty much all of them just about. And a lot of you are probably wondering, why in the world do I film in my car so much? Well, I actually don't have any professional equipment to make my YouTube channel amazing. I don't have editing software for my computer. I don't have, lights to make the lighting look balanced. I don't have any of those things. So I, for one, am a sucker for natural lighting. So being in my car not only gives me the feel of natural lighting, but it also is really good for sound. And the sound just kind of locks itself in here. Don't have to worry about wind quality. Don't have to worry about these things coming and messing sound up. So I want to take time today in story time to tell you the story about how I got my car, Skywalker. So whenever I was young, I bought my car about a year ago. So, but before that, I was terrible at saving money. I still am. And so I originally went to a car dealership with just $1,000, thinking that I could get something or put a payment on something, which was totally naive of me, because I couldn't, I couldn't do it. So I had to save a little more money. So I told myself that the ideal goal that I would set would be $3,500. And once I get $3,500, that will be reasonable, and that I will be able to go and put a payment on a car or something and take care of that. So I ended up doing that, and so I saved $3,000, but I had trouble getting to the $500. And it was really hard getting to $500 because I had bills and stuff, and I'd pay for this, I'd buy this. So I was always like almost there and then not there, almost there and then not there. So I went to this camp. I had an opportunity to go with our youth students to a camp called Winter Camp. And I was like, dude, that'd be amazing. I would love to go. And I did that. So I actually didn't have any vacation time. So I took personal days, which means I don't get paid for those. So there was 2 days that I took a personal time that I did not get paid for. And so right away I'm taking a pay cut. And I'm like, God, it's okay. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this to serve the students. And I'm going to do this believing and trusting you. So it was a Monday, and I came back from the camp. Camp was phenomenal. It was incredible. So on Mondays, my Monday routine in the nighttime is watching wrestling. I love WWE wrestling. I watch Monday Night Raw. I should watch SmackDown, but I don't. But I was watching Monday Night Raw when all of a sudden my dog, Bella, just starts going ballistic. And so it's late. It's like, man, who is this, right? So we opened up the door, and it's one of my friends. And he's like, hey, man, can I talk to you for a sec? I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go inside, grab my shoes, grab my jacket, come outside, and we're talking. And he says, God sent me to your house to give you some money. And I was like, what? Because, look, I'm the type of guy like this, okay? I don't like giving money to people. Hear me out. I don't like borrow money from people. That's what I meant. I don't mind helping others, but I'm the kind of guy that I don't ask for money. I don't borrow money, and I usually don't just give money to people. So I was like, there's no way this guy's paying me back. There's no way I borrowed anything from him. So I'm like, okay. So he puts a stack of money in my hand, and he said, I looked down at it and said, are you sure, man? And he said, God told me to, I had to. So I didn't want to just be like, see you later, thanks, bro, and just go inside. But, I began to talk with him about how camp was, and we just began to kind of shoot the breeze a little, I guess. So as I go inside and I count the money, it's $500 exact. Now, at this point, I've never been on the receiving end of financial blessing. I was blessed my entire Peru trip. Somebody stepped up and paid my way. But other than that, I have never really experienced firsthand what it was like to be blessed financially. So this guy, my friend, gives me the $500. So if you're following along with me, I got the $3,500 now for the car. So I go on, I'm like, all right, cool, right? So I got there. So we go to the car dealership and we go check out what cars there are. So I'm looking at this car, pretty cheap, it's like $2,800. I'm like, all right, cool, sweet. So the guy that runs the dealership, he actually attends our church, and he drives up in what is Skywalker now. But he drives up in this car, and he says, you don't want that car right there. It's got this, this, and this wrong with it. But check out this one I just drove up in. It's got this, this, and this. I just fixed this. I'm working on a few things here. But if you're interested in this car, I'll hold on to it for you. I'll finish working on it, and I'll sell it to you. He said, I'll sell it to you for $3,900. And I was like, dang, I can't do it, you know? I was like, I can't do it because I only have $3,500. I can't do the $39,000. Like, it was hard enough getting to $3,500. And my dad's with me, and my dad's like, well, look, I tell you what. He's like, I can't let you pass up this car, so you pay what you can, and I'll pay the rest and just pay me back. I'm like, sweet. So, long story short, right? I test drive the car. We found a few minor things, like the passenger door did not open from the inside. One of the back windows did not go down, so there was some minor fixes that worked out. So we get in the financing office for the car, you know, to sign papers, sign documents, and all these stuff. And so got the money ready, got the insurance filled out, and it's just a waiting game at this point, a time. So as I'm filling all this stuff out, the guy that's selling me cars, he says, how much did I tell you I was selling you this car for? And I was like, well, you're selling it to me for, you said $3,900. And he said, okay, cool. He said, check this out. He said, I've been praying to God, and I've been asking God, you know, how much to sell this car to you. And he says, you're a great man of integrity. He said, you do so much for our church. He's like, you go out of your way. He's like, so I'm going to sell you this car for $3,400. Now, follow along with me. Follow along with me. How much did I save? $3,500. How much did he tell me he was selling me the car? $3,400. Originally $3,900, $3,400. $500 saved. I was able to put back into my account with tax, title, and license, whatever. You know, it was a few extra hundreds. Okay, it wasn't 500. It's like maybe 300 extra. But still, my account needed it. So I got blessed with this car, and I wish I could tell you right here this is where the episode of Storytime stops, but it does not, because this is not a happy ever after. I get my car, I'm all excited, I get home, and it's so cool. Monday morning, I get ready to leave for work. And I put my key in the ignition, and I turn it sideways, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna drive myself to work. And I start the car, and nothing happens. And I'm like, pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. So I do it again, and nothing happens. So I call the guy up, I'm like, yo, bro, my car's not want to start. So he comes over, and he puts his key in the ignition, and he turns it, and nothing. And I'm just joking. It happened. The car started. It made me look like a fool. A few other times this kind of happened. So he says, can you give you a full refund? I was like, I want my car back, because my car has issues. I have issues. We're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. You know, we're made for each other. And God blessed me with this car. It's meant to be. It's just a few obstacles from the enemy trying to rob me. So check this out. A few other things happen. I have some maintenance done on the car, because, right, we have maintenance done on our cars from time to time. So I'm teaching a mentoring lesson with one of my friends at the library, and I'm preaching on Job. Now, if you don't know who Job is, in the Bible, Job is a man of God, and the devil wants to test Job and see how far Job can bend and mend and break before he curses God, or before he disowns God. And God says, put him to the test. Job's going to serve me. So everything you can think of bad happens to Job. You know, Job has a bad day. Job's children dies. His livestock dies. His health declines. Like all these stuff, right? His own wife tells him that he should just curse God and die. His friends just encourage him to give up. And like just bad thing after bad thing, right? So I was talking about Job had a bad day. So after I finished the mentoring session, I get in my car to start it. It starts, then stops, and that's it. My car stays here at the library. I'm not at the library, but at the library. So my youth pastor ended up coming and look at it, and he fixed it for me. And I hadn't had any major problems with my car other than the door that's banged in from the wreck. And just get an oil change regularly, you know, checking fluids under, had a windshield wiper I had to change. But other than that, that's the story of Skywalker. This is how me and Skywalker met. It was a match made in heaven, so to speak, but it was totally a blessing from God, and I thank God so much for that. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Storytime. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Before I end this video, I want to give a shout out to my girl Courtney. Courtney, I know you're watching this so much. I want you guys to keep Courtney's family in prayer. Courtney's grandmother just passed away, and I'm sure it's a very difficult time. And if you guys are watching this, then you'll know what it's like to lose somebody, whether it's a mom or a dad you've lost. Maybe it's a brother or sister. Maybe it's a cousin. Maybe it's a grandma or grandpa. Or maybe it's like a pet, like a cat, dog, fish, whatever. We all know what it's like to lose someone. So Courtney, if you're watching this, we all stand in agreement with you, and we're praying for you. We love you so much. And with that being said and done, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, this is the Muffin Man saying, keep it fresh, have a good day, and God bless.